Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we're going to be doing a reading that I've been waiting to do for quite a long time. This is going to be how to heal your inner masculine. So for those of you that are regular viewers of the channel, you'll know that I recently created an inner masculine deck using wisdom from gods. This is something I've had a bit of an issue with in the spiritual community for quite a long time. You know, we have lots of goddess decks available. We have lots of discussion about how to heal the inner feminine or how to work with divine feminine energy, but the masculine is often very much overlooked, which is to everyone's detriment, because if you work on healing your inner feminine, that's incredible and it's amazing, but it's only like 50% of your power, and they need to grow symbiotically together, both the masculine and feminine, in order to have the best chance of you feeling whole and you feeling well integrated and ready. So that's why I've created the God deck, because I do have one deck about sort of God energy, but you know, there are so many goddess decks available or divine feminine decks available that I was just shocked whenever I looked for other masculine or God decks to find basically nothing. So that's why I've created my own. So we'll be using that today to see how you can heal your masculine, as well as other cards that I've picked for this reading. So as you can see on today's piles, we've got these cute little Russian cards. I'll be holding them up and giving you a closer look just in a moment, but before I do that, I want to say a big thank you to all of my lovely subscribers and to all of my lovely patrons as well, including Alexandra, Kelly, Joan, Nicole, Mia and Cara. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for the kindness and love and support that you show to this channel. And if you're new or if you're wavering, please do consider subscribing, because it really does support me in the work that I do, and it's a lovely way to help out the channel as well, and to ensure that you never miss a video that I post. So with that being said, let's take a closer look at the piles today. So on pile 1 we have got this card, Pускай, korni, which means let down roots or take root. It's the 3 of circles, which also kind of looks like 30 if you look at it differently. And we've got this gorgeous new Everyday Witch Tarot. Now I want to say a big thank you to the lovely and generous Raj, who is a much trusted and very faithful client. She has sent a few decks into the channel now, but this is the latest one, the Everyday Witch Tarot. I've been using it in private readings. I love it, and it's one that I've seen other people using for quite a while, and I've wanted it for quite some time as well. So thank you, Raj, for your kindness and your generosity in sending in this gorgeous deck. I'm really excited to use it on YouTube now. So this is pile 1, let down roots or take root, with the Everyday Witch Tarot. And when you're looking at the piles, just ask yourself, what does my inner masculine need me to know? How can I heal my inner masculine? Maybe how can I connect with or strengthen my inner masculine? Something along those lines, whatever feels intuitively right for you. Then on pile 2 we have bananu, and it's the 5 of arrows, and bananu means basically according to a banana, or banana wise is how you might say it in English. And I just think of like doing things in a very unique or silly way when I see this card. And so we've got the Circle of Life Tarot for group 2. And then with group 3, we have Uютное время, the 1 of diamonds. That means cozy time. And we've got the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. It's this cute little fox curled up in the cosmos. Okay, so take as much time as you need and go back to the start of the video if you need more time, or pause the video if you want to. Just follow your intuition with this one. Let your inner masculine guide you to the right pile. They might really make a certain phrase on the card or image or number, or maybe the image on the deck really stick out at you, but ultimately choose the pile that you're feeling drawn to with your intuition. So don't just think, oh, I want to see the new deck, or I really like Edgar Allan Poe. Choose where you're being drawn intuitively, because that will give you the most accurate reading, and at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. So as I said, take your time, and when you and your inner masculine have chosen, I will be waiting for you with pile number 1. Hey there group 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose Pускай, korni, or take root or let down roots with the 3 of circles and the Everyday Witch Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So welcome in. We're going to be looking at how to heal your inner masculine. Obviously this card might give us a clue as to what you could do there. So take root, let down roots, to me kind of feels like being grounded. Talks about stability. But we'll see what comes through in your cards. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't already, Group 1, so that you never miss out on anything that I post. Okay, so we have got the Two of Pentacles as your first card of this gorgeous new deck. We've also got the Five of Swords. And we have the Two of Wands. So there's two twos, and they're both sort of either side of a 5 card, a card that often represents conflict. Okay, interesting message. So yeah, I kind of feel like you've been unsettled recently by conflict or by toxicity or by negative energy in your social circle, or maybe at home, your family life, or at work with colleagues. And it's kind of saying, sort of like with the take root, like find your equilibrium. You can see this message of balance here. It's just kind of like you're feeling a little bit discombobulated, and your inner masculine is this strong protective influence who sort of guards and holds space for the feminine so that she can create, or so that she can grow, and continue to bring expansion into your life. Because we have this card here, the Two of Wands, which is about expansion. We've got the person holding the world in their hands. The world is your oyster, is what the inner masculine wants you to know, but not until you've grounded yourself. So sometimes this feeling sort of comes through when we're going through change, but if you are going through a time of change, then it feels like it's been brought about by these difficult experiences with others, or like other people and their behavior towards you has kind of been the catalyst for the change. It doesn't feel like it's just happened out of nowhere, if that makes sense, Group 1. So you are able to grow now, but what your inner masculine needs is for you to find this sense of stability within you. Let's get your oracle cards. Okay, well, this one just jumped out in the pre-shuffle. Sky Dancers, Surrender, number 48. Okay, so surrendering possibly to a situation, no longer fighting against a situation, I guess, because that can leave you feeling very unstable when you're fighting against change, or when you're trying to control the outcome of something, when you're fighting against lots of different people. When you just kind of surrender and stop acknowledging them, stop responding to them, stop reacting, and sort of go inwards and focus on yourself, you can settle your energy a lot more quickly. It's kind of like, if there's like a small rock pool or something, if you are doing a lot of action, if you're sort of flicking around the water, it gets mixed up with the sand underneath. It becomes sort of grainy and dirty and difficult to see through, and it's only when you take a step back and just let it settle that the sediment goes to the bottom again and the water is clear once more. So that's kind of the advice that your inner masculine is giving you, is stop reacting or stop fighting. Just allow yourself to focus on you for now. Okay, nothing more from that deck. Storm Angel, absolutely. Collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, and energies, number 35. So it could even be, I was thinking with the Five of Swords that it was a group of people that you were dealing with, but it could actually be just one person, like you're in a relationship with someone, or you're friends with someone, or you're living with someone, like a close family member maybe, who just doesn't get you or isn't on your wavelength with regards to your values or your beliefs or the way you like to live your life in the day-to-day. And it's just like, I'm always having to justify myself, or I'm always having to explain myself, defend myself, fight against their arguments, etc. And it's like, stop doing it. Try your best to shut down. You might want to look up, if you are dealing with someone like this, you might want to look up something like the grey rock technique or the broken record technique. It might be called the stuck record technique. I'm sure you'll find it online if you take a look. They are techniques that you can use to deal with people who are manipulative or toxic, or trying to break your spirit, or who are not respecting your boundaries. So you can use those techniques to shut down arguments or conversations, to maintain a low level of contact or a low level of intimacy between yourself and another person. That might be helpful for some of you. Connect to source. Number 47, go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want. So literally, your inner masculine is saying, please go within. Try your best not to focus so much on what's happening outside of you and the things that you can't control because it belongs to, you know, other people's opinions or it belongs to external circumstances. Try and go within and focus on you and settling yourself. Be like that strong rock in the middle of a sea storm that doesn't move, that lets everything go on around it and then just assesses the situation afterwards. Access clear thinking. Totally. Number one, it feels as though the people around you or the situation that you're currently in your daily life is just stopping you from being able to see what's happening. It's like it's stopping you from making future plans because you don't know where you're at energetically. You just feel all the time drained or confused or like you really don't know whether you're coming or going, basically. It's stopping you from seeing a situation objectively. So your inner masculine is offering you sanctuary and protection and is saying, come inside, go within, turn your attention inwards. And together we can work on sort of building up the inner masculine's energy, making it stronger, making me more able to protect you. Number 77, Himmel auf Erden, heaven on earth, beautiful card. And number 53, Bereitschaft, readiness, being prepared. So yes, your inner masculine would like you to know that it is possible for you to create your perfect reality, your ideal lifestyle. You're ready for this now. You might not feel ready for change. You might feel like it's the last thing you want because, as I said, the sort of situations or relationships around you are leaving you feeling drained or confused or like you don't have that stable ground beneath your feet. Like I said, you don't know whether you're coming or going. But your inner masculine is saying, no, you are ready to start building up this perfect life. And as your masculine gets stronger, you will become more aware of this. You will become more able to determine what the right choices are for you. To discern between the right environments. Okay, then we have number 23, sich verlieben, falling in love. Number 33, wahre Liebe, true love. And then number 73, Zweifel, doubts. Interesting. So, to be honest, I kind of feel like this is almost like falling in love with your inner masculine. The more time you spend in the presence of the inner masculine, the more you grow to love it and like it. It might feel a little bit unnatural at first, getting in touch with those energies, if that's not something that you've ever really tapped into within yourself. But your inner masculine wants you to know that as time goes by, you grow more and more in love with each other, and you're more able to express those masculine traits more naturally. So the traits of confidence and assertiveness and sort of self-determination, not needing to ask for anyone else's approval when you make a decision or when you're interested in something. You can just forge ahead and know that your own approval and validation is more than enough. This could possibly also have a positive effect on your love life as well, or your relationship with men in general. Archangel Raphael says improving health, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for your comforting reassurance about this situation. So Archangel Raphael actually says that the more that you work on your inner masculine, the more your health improves overall. That could be physical health in the sense of becoming stronger, having more stamina, or obviously mental and emotional health as well. But just in general, you become healthier and therefore happier as a result of working on this. Also focusing on any health concerns that you do have, or any areas where you would like to become healthier or stronger, will also help you to tap into that inner masculine energy. Okay, so I wanted to get you a few different cards from my new homemade inner masculine deck, because that's obviously why I'm doing this reading. So you've got 3 coming out for you. You have number 21, Helios, perspective. You have number 42, Shiva, destruction. And you have number 20, Hanuman, devotion. Okay, so these are sort of representations of your inner masculine right now, or how you can work towards healing it and improving it. So what Helios says, if we start with him, is he's the Greco-Roman god of the sun, by the way. He's called Sol in the Roman tradition. Helios is saying gain a new perspective, because as we've been seeing throughout your reading, you have just been left confused and without a clear perspective by your current experiences. And I feel like it's different things for everyone, but it feels like other people's opinions have been putting you off your own intuition, or other people's behavior has just left you feeling vulnerable or confused or lost. External circumstances changing might also have had this effect. So Helios is saying by going within, you can gain this better perspective. It takes you out of the situation so that you're not so sunk down into the small details and the he said, she said, and this happened and she said that and he did that and I felt like this. It takes you out of all of those little overanalyzed tidbits, and it gives you a more holistic perspective, a higher viewpoint, which is very much what we've been getting throughout the reading anyway, with the sky dancer, sort of that higher viewpoint, access clear thinking, connect to source. All of that has been coming through. So then Shiva, he says destruction. Okay, so Lord Shiva is telling you that there are things in your life which need to leave. They need to be let go of, they need to be removed. This could be cutting ties with a particular person or group of people even. So that could be going back to what I was saying about the techniques for shutting people down when they try and start on you. It could be that you're in a situation that you think, actually, I don't need to be in this anymore. This doesn't really serve me anymore. It could be that you've been working on a project and for a long time it's like you've been hitting a brick wall and you're just thinking to yourself, look, I need to either abandon it or take a step back from it, at least for some time, a few weeks or months maybe, so that I can then come back to it with this fresh perspective, this fresh eyes, after I've had time to just detach my energy from it. So Shiva is saying that something needs to be destroyed or released in order for you to move forward. And then Hanuman, Lord Hanuman, is coming through to say that you need to fully devote yourself to healing your inner masculine. So through devotion, you gain your power through sort of focusing solely upon yourself and upon your needs, your ideal future, your ideal lifestyle that you're hoping to build, and not pandering to other people's ideas of what your life should look like, or pleasing other people and, doing what they want you to do. Focus upon yourself and your ideal life and lifestyle, and really, really devote yourself to it now. And if that involves improving your health, becoming fitter, eating better, sleeping better, make sure that you're really onto it, not just thinking, oh yeah, I was going to go to the gym today, but I'm not going to. Really pushing yourself to go there, because once you give yourself permission one time to stop, it becomes so much easier the next time to also tell yourself, you know what, I'm not going to do it. Equally with things like sleeping better, if you want to sleep before midnight and one night you think, oh, I'll just stay up a little bit longer and listen to this song, or read another chapter of this book, or watch another episode of this, once you've started giving yourself permission to do that, you've lost your devotion, and it just makes it so much easier the next night to do the same. So that's what Hanuman is saying. Have this very clear focus directed towards this end goal. Really beautiful deities coming out for you. And oh wow, I often put these cards face up when I'm not using them, just because they sort of naturally bend like that. And your base card, which I don't usually look at during my readings because I use so many decks, but your base card is Geb, grounding. So really this message of setting down roots and grounding and stabilizing yourself is coming through again. Wow, lovely. Okay, we're going to get you some more cards. So we have Theta of Venus, number 25. That's a very, very interesting card to come up in this reading, because that is like literally the Divine Feminine card. I'll read you the guidebook entry to that in just a moment, but I'm going to get you just a few more cards out first so I can get all the shuffling out the way. Do not drink poison. Number 8, do not do things you know are bad for you. And I think that fits well with what I was saying about giving yourself permission one day to not follow your intentions, and then that leading to the next day, struggling to follow through with it again. Goddess Rhiannon and Amazonite, number 47, integrity. The Empress? Whoa, Archangel Gabriel. Time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded. Luxurious or abundant rewards. New moon in Sagittarius. Focus on the positive. And Beaver. Okay, so let's start getting some guidebook messages. I'm really blown away by all the messages from the feminine there. Like, you've got Theta of Venus, you've then got a goddess card in a deck that is not purely like focused on goddesses, and then you've got the Empress. So either your inner feminine is very, very strong, or your inner feminine also requires some healing. And this is kind of like a double focus for you. So let's get Theta of Venus. So attune yourself to higher consciousness by choosing to access the purest frequencies of love within. Acknowledge lower frequencies such as judgment, fear, doubt, or shame when they arise within or around you, but do not give them a foothold in your heart. You are ready for higher understanding, to see things in a new and more positive light. Allow your inner knowing to guide you on a unique, beautiful, and highly spiritual life path. Okay, so I think that fits well with what we were saying about not allowing these people or circumstances around you to drag you down within your own self. Remembering, of course, that Theta is the frequency, I think it's between 7 and 8 hertz. It's the frequency that we sort of tap into when we're in meditation, or like deep meditation or light sleep. So it is a really relaxed, deep state to be in. Let's see what Goddess Rhiannon has to say. She's a Welsh goddess. Integrity. We bring you the empowerment of integrity. Integrity is the harmony between intention, word, and action. It is a discipline of love that creates inner security, confidence, and self-esteem. Now, what were we talking about with groundedness and feeling stable within yourself during changes? Wow. And confidence is a strong masculine trait. Integrity allows you to choose what promises you make according to the reasons that have meaning for you. It empowers you to make decisions that feel authentic and honor your values. It allows you to say no without guilt or shame because you are not willing to compromise who you are to make another comfortable. What was I saying about people pleasing or pandering to other people's ideas of what your life should look like? As you honor your words and actions, doing what you say you will do, when you say you will do it, you grow power and respect within. You can express your integrity absolutely and yet with kindness and compassion. Integrity is the gift that will bring you a powerful peace of mind and loving respect. Beautiful. And then the beaver to me is very connected to devotion. You know, the ways in which the beaver very diligently works towards its task. So hard worker, loyal, tireless, family first. The beaver personality is a welcomed sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home and financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, selfless service. When in balance, this person is happy and engages in meaningful work. When out of balance, they feel useless or worn out, and to bring themselves back into balance, they need to engage in some physical labor or selfless service. So that's really pointing towards this need for devotion and strong focus, again, on this task. So we'll do your charms and dice now, group 1, to get your extra messages from your inner masculine. Okay, so we've got the calculator, which is symbolic of working things out, figuring out what you want from life, and I think that goes back to that Two of Wands message. We've got the cookies. Okay, now normally I would say treat yourself when we get this cookie jar, but it's actually landing on the card do not drink poison, do not do things you know are bad for you. So I'm wondering if this is a wake-up call to cut back on something that's not very healthy. So whether you really love chocolate and you find that you're eating an awful lot of it, or whether it's more about trying to get more vegetables or vitamins into your diet, more water, for example, rather than fizzy drinks. I don't know, less alcohol consumption, maybe, something like that. It's like, this is maybe a treat for you, but maybe have those treats a little less often, is kind of the vibe I'm getting from the reading. We've got the letter D coming through on the Empress. I'm not seeing anyone whose name begins with D who's come out as a god, but yeah, maybe there's a deity you work with whose name begins with D, or who has a prominent D in their name. Maybe it's just a word that's coming to you. Obviously, divine or deity would make sense there. Maybe it's another name, not of a particular god, but of a person. We have got the Chamber of Secrets entrance charm. So this signifies opening a can of worms, dealing with a real sort of big monster issue in your life. It's kind of like Pandora's box. Like, once you've started to face up to it, you've got to see it through until the end, because there's no going back. There's no unseeing or unadmitting that problem. So that's landing on Shiva, destruction. So a need to really put an end to something that has been plaguing you or tormenting you for a long time. We've got the octopus. Very busy, lots of things, lots of responsibilities, lots of projects going on. We've also got the dragon. Could be a zodiac marker for people born in the Chinese year of the dragon. Maybe that's what the D is talking about. But the dragon to me is also about a very significant event or a very significant experience in your life. So it could be going back to this as well. We have the feminine coming up again, actually landing on falling in love. Okay. And then we've got, oh, lovely, the treasure map, which tells you that you will find what you seek. Okay, that's perfect. And that really fits with that Two of Wands message about sort of building your perfect life or your ideal lifestyle. So we'll get your dice on top now as well for those final messages, group 1. Okay, and we're going to roll the 8th set of dice. Those are the adventure time dice. These ones. And we're rolling 3 of them for you. Number 3, like the Empress. Actually, your pile marker card was a number 3 as well, wasn't it? Okay, so what have we got? Yeah, so we've got Marceline's dad showing up here, and Marceline's dad always makes me think of like someone or something who seems okay at first, or who maybe, I don't know, seems like they're pretty cool, but ultimately they're not the right person to have in your life, or they're not someone who brings positivity. They're someone who sort of can't help but get in the way or do bad things. So this could be about, you know, the kind of relationship that you're trying to cut down on, or go, it doesn't have to be fully no contact. Maybe you want to go low contact with a family member, for example, and you sort of feel drawn towards them, you feel charmed by them, but equally you also recognize that they have quite a few faults as well. So he sort of comes up when there's a person or maybe even a situation that we are drawn to, but deep down we know that they're not right for us. So then we've also got the Nightosphere amulet. So for those of you who've never seen Adventure Time before, this character is one of the, maybe not main characters, but one of the secondary characters' father. He's like a kind of prince or king of the abyss, some kind of like demon vampire thing. I think he's called Hunson. And yeah, he obviously is sort of summoned from the abyss sometimes, and he's got all of these dark powers, and he wears this amulet, the Nightosphere amulet, and that's what gives him his powers. And he tells his daughter that it grants wishes, when actually it sort of turns you into a demon and gives you the power to rule the Nightosphere, where he comes from. So she wears it not realizing what is going to happen. So this, when I see this dice, it kind of makes me think of like people who try and push their expectations onto you, people who expect you to follow in their footsteps because, you know, it's kind of like a hereditary thing from father to daughter. People who expect you to follow their own expectations and preferences, but also about kind of manipulating or lying to get someone to agree to something. So whether that's to take up a position or to go along with something, whatever it is, like it's where you feel coerced, bullied, or otherwise lied to. So that could be with what we're seeing with the 5 of Swords. And it's about sort of sticking up for yourself, and if something doesn't feel right, then you just put your hand up and say no. And again, use grey rock or the stuck record technique if you need to, in order to get that no across. And then your final dice here is the Vapor Swamp. So the Vapor Swamp is like this kind of frightening place that's full of monsters, and it's very barren. And when I see the Vapor Swamp, I just think of a difficult time, going through this time where it feels like there's nowhere comfortable or nowhere that you could stop and rest, nowhere that kind of offers you shelter. You've just got to keep going through it until you find what you need and then hightail it back out of there, or keep going until you get to the other side of it. It's that difficult experience. It's almost like if we had a dice that had a desert on it, for example. There's nowhere that we can comfortably stop and wait. There might be a scorpion in the sand. There might be you know, a snake, or the sun is just so scorching that we can't stop here. We need to keep moving forward until we get somewhere that's more welcoming or more habitable. So I see that as being this time that you're going through right now, and the divine masculine, your inner masculine, can offer you so much protection and strength, but in order to access that, you kind of need to heal him and build him up. So as I said, just to summarize what I've seen in the reading, your feminine is coming through quite strongly. So either that's something that you should be proud of, that you've really built up your feminine, or it's a calling to also work on that. Grounding and stabilizing yourself is really important. Trying not to react to changes or other people's behavior or attempts to goad you. Just, you know, pulling back from that, surrendering to change, etc. It's very important. Devoting yourself to working with the divine masculine, going within regularly so that you can get to that space within yourself where you're at peace and where you feel grounded and where you can start to think about your future, and also where you can just check in with your masculine. You can sit in meditation and just check in with your inner masculine and see what kind of a state he's in. But also there's this other message about trying to avoid the things that you know are bad for you, especially I think connected to your physical health, like not obviously the situations or people around you might be dragging you down emotionally or mentally, but there are things for a lot of you that are connected to your physical health that you know are bad for you, but you kind of do it to either get you through the tough times or just as a little treat, but it's kind of being overindulged. So that's your message, is just try to pull back from that kind of thing. And I really hope this has been helpful for you, Group 1. I will be offering inner masculine readings on Etsy, so you can come for a personal consultation if you want to. This is kind of like a general opening message, but I really hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this reading, whether it resonated with you. Please also do like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, because that really helps me to get these messages to as many people as possible, because it helps me to get seen more on YouTube. And if you're interested in the work that I do check out my description box or the comment that I post below. There's my wish lists posted below for new tarot and oracle decks. If you'd like to be very generous like the lovely Raj and send in a gift to the channel, that would be very kind of you. You can follow me on Instagram for daily oracle cards. You can head over to Etsy to book a private reading or healing session with me. I also offer guardian angel information packs over there. I'd love to see you on Patreon if you really enjoy my work. Over there you can offer more regular support to the channel, and in exchange you get access to just some wonderful things, including extra picker cards and healing sessions and other things that I do on an ad hoc basis. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation to support the work that I do, that is very, very kind of you. I have a PayPal link for that, and any amount is really very much appreciated. And we do still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations, so if you'd like to get 10% off beautiful handmade jewelry, beautiful crystal jewelry, then use the link below to validate the discount code and then apply the discount code VIOLET at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your first order. So thank you so much again for being here, Group 1. Have a lovely rest of your day. Good luck with healing your inner masculine and connecting to him, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose bananu, or banana-wise, the Five of Arrows and the Circle of Life Tarot, then let's talk about how to heal your inner masculine. So possibly your pile marker might have something to do with it. When I think of banano, I think of doing something very, in a very silly way, or just letting go completely of societal expectations or self-consciousness. So that might be part of how you can heal your inner masculine, is working a bit more to your whims a little bit. Please do subscribe as well if you haven't already, Group 2. That means that you get notified whenever I release a video, and it's a great way to help out my channel as well. So you have quite a few cards actually coming out from your tarot. You've got the Seven of Cups. You've also got the Hanged Man, the Three of Wands, Page of Swords, King of Wands, and the Fool. Okay, so I think the Fool fits in quite nicely with banano. So we've got all of the air and fire signs showing up. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and also Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I really like how you've got the King of Wands, because that's a divine masculine card right there. So what am I seeing here? I'm seeing a few different things. So firstly, I'm seeing that there are lots of different options that you could follow. And I kind of feel like part of healing your masculine is trying to implement more decisiveness. in your daily life. Decisiveness and assertiveness are both traits that we associate with a healthy inner masculine. So the more that you heal your masculine, the more these traits will grow and become more natural to you. But also, I think actually actively working towards that will really be helpful to you in healing the masculine. It's kind of a side-by-side thing. The more you do this, the more it heals, and the more it heals, the more it's possible to do that, if that makes sense. So trying to become more decisive in the sense of even small things, like, you know, when you go into a restaurant and they're like, you can sit anywhere you like, and you're like, it takes you ages to decide where you want to sit, and it's such a small thing. Just immediately picking an option and saying, we'll sit there. It's a way to just really boost your decisiveness. If it's not an important thing, try not to think too much about it. Just make a quick snap decision like that. I'm also seeing the need to I feel like pull back from some things that you've been doing. So this to me would be projects, or it would be certain relationships potentially, but it feels as though there's something there that's creating a clash with your masculine energy, and there's a need for a new start, a renewal of some kind. So because there's so many oracle tarot cards, I'm going to see what your oracle cards have to say, because there does seem to be like quite a few different approaches that you are being encouraged to follow. So, group 2. So we have got Two Little Witches, Magical Space Clearing Time, number 30. That really, really fits with what I was saying about pulling back. And Faceless Ghosts and the Haunted Girl, Ghost People, number 34. Interesting. So there really are people around you that just don't offer any benefit to your life anymore. That card points towards there being people that you either really don't gel with around you now, or people that you just know that they're not bringing you any positivity. There's no room for growth in those relationships. Amble with Contentment, number 9. Waiting rather than acting is going to be most advantageous now, so that fits in with the Hanged Man. Just taking some time to feel where you are energetically. We have The Crossing, Initiation, number 54. Wow. Initiation, that goes very well with the Fool. And also in some ways the Page of Swords, I think. And the Hanged Man as well. They all vibe with that. Show Self-Respect, number 29. That in itself can be both a masculine and a feminine trait. And I think this is like respecting your time, group 2, because I've seen a lot here that's sort of like either this project is draining or this relationship isn't, I've just dropped a load of cards, isn't sort of conducive to your well-being anymore. And it's like respect your time and respect your energy. And if you're in, I don't know, relationships or situations that just seem to be a sink for your energy, like you're putting in effort or time or money or focus and you're just not getting anything out of it, then it's time to pull back from that. And it doesn't mean that you have to completely abandon it, you know, that it could be that there's a time or a place for that in the future for you, but it feels like right now you just need to walk away and say, look, this isn't doing me any good anymore. I need to direct my energy into some more fertile ground. It's like I could keep chucking it into this black hole or I could start, you know, putting it into this sort of fertile field. That's the image that I'm getting for you. So let me pick up these cards so that I can start shuffling from this deck. Okay. have number 33, wahre Liebe, true love. Number 40, Gnade, blessing or mercy or grace. And number 1, Selbstliebe, self-love. Okay. So I guess kind of recognizing the blessing or the grace that is true self-love, because that fits in with show self-respect. And there's just so much here that I'm seeing about boundaries with your trust, boundaries with your time, boundaries with your energy. Number 39, sich ungeliebt fühlen, feeling unloved. Number 8, etwas Besonderes sein wollen, wanting to be something special, but in a negative context. And number 34, rebel. Okay, yes, so really fighting back against sort of who you've been so far. I really feel from the cards that through engaging with your inner masculine, you're probably going to end up changing as a person. You might find that people are sort of saying to you, oh, you know, you're different now, you didn't used to be like this, blah, blah, blah. And you might find that that feels quite confronting, you know, that they're kind of saying that you're not authentic anymore. But actually through healing your inner masculine, you become more of your true self. You've got the number 34 showing up twice in your cards, so that could be important for some reason. Okay, and then your messages directly from the inner masculine deck are number 45, Thor, strength. You also have number 3, Anubis, transition. And number 33, Nuada Ergetlaw, magnanimity. Okay, so that's also the second time you've got number 33, because that came out with wahre Liebe, the true love card. And obviously it's 333, the way that these cards have fallen out. So let's see what we've got. So yeah, Thor, strength. Thor is saying right now your power kind of lies in drawing upon your inner strength. And that's not just physical strength, it's also emotional as well. So Thor wants you to recognize that strength that you have within yourself. What Thor also says is that you may need to fight or push for a bit longer in order to achieve what you're hoping for. So you might just need to focus on getting through the situation 1 week or day or even 1 hour or minute at a time, and to sort of draw on your strength now to remind yourself of its existence whenever you start to struggle or doubt yourself. Thor is basically saying you can do this. You might use your strength to push harder for something, or like I said, you might just use it to literally get you through a situation, because that's literally what you need right now. It's however you're feeling, it's listening to your energy levels, your body, what you feel is right for you. So that's something healing that you can do for your inner masculine. Also, we have Anubis, transition. So this fits with what I was saying about getting through this time, because Anubis is saying that changes are happening for you. He's saying that you are in this sort of liminal space. Okay, so a time of your life when you are changing, when it kind of feels like you're neither here nor there, you're in an in-between space. And that can feel quite frustrating or quite restless. Can leave you feeling like you don't have a firm grounding beneath your feet. So what Anubis is saying is recognize that this transition is going on, that this change is happening for a reason. Clearly there are some parts of yourself or some things in your life that need to fall away now, or take a different form, change shape in some way. Try not to fight against that. Try to focus on yourself, and like with the Hanged Man, you know, gaining your equilibrium during this time. Also, that's where the boundaries come in. With both Thor and Anubis, it's like put yourself first during this time of change. Have these firm boundaries about where your energy is being expended, where your focus is going, where your time is going, so that you can have more of that energy saved for yourself and not being depleted elsewhere in places where you're not getting any positive return from it, if that makes sense. And then Nuada, number 33, Nuada Ergetlaw, Nuada of the Silver Hand, is saying magnanimity. This is a really interesting card. Nuada, if you don't know anything about his myth, was a Celtic god, is a Celtic god, but he was king of the gods. And then when he lost his arm in battle, he had to stop being king of the gods because according to Celtic law, you could only be a ruler or a sovereign if you were physically perfect. So if you had any imperfections or blemishes or obviously a limb missing, then you couldn't be a ruler. That was just how it was. They placed quite a strong importance upon physical perfection. So Nuada didn't fight against this. You might, sort of know of other mythologies or other legends where there is a deity or a figure who fights against being usurped or having to give up their position or their power for a new generation or for a newly elected person. Nuada didn't. Nuada very magnanimously and graciously stepped down and allowed another person to take his throne. And so what this is saying is that contrary to what some people's inner masculines might think when we get into the mindset of either a lack of masculinity or an overcompensation, which is toxic masculinity, you might think that stepping back from something or letting someone else have their moment is weak, is losing, is admitting defeat. It's not. What Nuada was doing was knowing that his focus now needed to be placed elsewhere. He could no longer offer what the people needed because a ruler is there for the people, not for themselves. So he was aware that he couldn't offer what the people needed because what they wanted was a physically perfect leader. And so he stepped back and continued to do good elsewhere. So instead of fighting against change or transition, instead of feeling like, but I've put so much effort into this project, and even though for months and months now it's not been going forward, I feel like I need to keep going at it, or I've put so much time and energy into this relationship, sunken costs fallacy, etc. I need to keep going with it. You need to tell yourself, look, do you know what? Maybe it's time to step back. And that doesn't mean I'm letting that person win, or it doesn't mean I'm giving up, or I'm a loser, or I'm not worthy. It just means that I've recognized when I've hit my limit, when I've hit my boundary, and suddenly I know there's no benefit in this situation for me anymore, or right now there isn't. Maybe I can return at some point, because Nuada eventually gets a silver arm. He's not one-armed forever. And then he gets a real arm to replace it. They somehow make him a real arm out of flesh and blood and bone. So he is restored to his former glory, but he understands, like the Hanged Man, this need to take that space and time out and to wait out the whole situation. You might feel like you've lost the battle, but you haven't lost the war. So that was a very long-winded way of explaining that particular card, but I hope it had some resonance for you, and I hope that I got the meaning across satisfactorily. Let's keep going. So, wow, Archangel Raphael says divine intervention. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me with name of person in need. Thank you for being with name of person in need and for helping with this situation. I have faith in divine intervention, and I finally fully accept your guidance now. Finally is interesting. Maybe you have had messages coming through that you've been reluctant to accept. The World, Archangel Michael, a very happy ending. Coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. So literally, it's time for change. And change is happening, I feel, for you, Group 2, whether you're wanting it to happen and internally ready for it to happen or not. And it is happening. And I kind of feel like your inner masculine is saying, look, we need to come to terms with this now. Focus our energy on getting through the situation, or on pushing that little bit further to make the situation better for ourselves. And accept the change with good grace, whether that's change of us as a person, like your identity, your appearance, maybe your interests, your personality, etc. Whether it is change of your physical place, maybe a new place of work, a new home, whether it's a change in relationships, or even a change in like your whole sort of outlook on life. It's a needed change. Fighting it is going to result in a lot more damage than accepting it. Knowing your limits, setting firm boundaries, all of this is really coming through as important. Choices, yeah. Number 6, feeling blocked and restrained. Wow. Two cards from the White Light Oracle. You have number 38, Dvara Patra. I'm not sure I've ever pulled that card, and I've had this deck a very long time, so I'm curious to see what that one's about. We've also got number 35, Pearl of Sharrow. Let's just get a couple more cards and then I'll start reading from the guidebook. Archangel Michael and Lapis Lazuli, the Vision, number 8. So that's Archangel Michael showing up twice for you. He is a protector, and he's definitely a very masculine angel. Bat, that makes so much sense. And yes, new moon in Aquarius, open up to change. Okay, perfect. So let's get these guidebooks for these last cards so that we can just read out the meanings and familiarize ourselves with those. And then we'll move on to your Charms and Dice group 2. So we start with the White Light Oracle. So number 38, Dvara Patra. Okay. Out of confusion, a clear and progressive pathway is opening up for you. It is an auspicious time to give generously of yourself to others, enriching the quality of your connections, expressing spiritual blessings of goodwill and encouragement from your heart. A powerful blessing is entering your world. A prayer is now being answered in a beautiful way. Spirit gives freely and generously of all good things, and the task of humanity is to learn how to receive. The key to receiving is an open, surrendered, generous, and trusting heart. Okay. And then the Pearl of Sharrow card. Taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are going to resolve an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. You will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access a wealth of divine treasure. That which has brought darkness into your world shall submit to the light and be transformed. Have courage and commitment to your awakening, for you are a precious being and can go far on the spiritual path this lifetime. Beautiful. So 2 messages there of change and transformation, of things taking a different form. And there's a real message of needing to let go and allow yourself to sort of express yourself as you truly need to be. And that might be different from how it's been in the past, which could be confusing, but just run with it. And then Archangel Michael and Lapis Lazuli says, we bring you the gift of vision, an inspirational insight from which you shall derive energy, motivation, and a sense of purpose. You have many abilities and the capacity to do numerous things with your talent, time, and energy. We know your heart yearns for meaningful, focused purpose. You have things you want to accomplish, perhaps so many that at times you may feel as though you are attempting to live more than one life in this lifetime. I know that feeling. We know you can benefit from a vision, something that integrates all you want to do into one unifying purpose. Even if you do not see how it is possible for all your talents and dreams to be woven into one master vision, we know that love makes all things possible according to its own creative intelligence and wisdom. The universe shall take care of the details, and from the loving universal mind, in accordance with the divine timing and your own readiness, we shall gift you with your vision. So inspiration coming through, and sort of an understanding of where you're headed, or at least what the outcome, the overall goal looks like. And then Bat says darkness, letting go, death leading to rebirth. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns, no more lingering in the past. When in balance, this person accepts, adapts, and adjusts. When out of balance, they refuse to let go and they reminisce. To bring themselves back into balance, they ought to watch the sunrise. So it's this sort of natural understanding of changes that happen. And really, it feels like for a while you've maybe been stumbling forward and not really being sure where you're headed. But now the archangels and your inner masculine are coming forward to show you, look, this is where we're going. This is the vision. This is the overall destination in our minds. So let's see your charms and dice, group 2, and see what messages that they have for you. And then we'll summarize your reading. Okay, so you have 2 crystal balls. One is the rose quartz love and relationships ball, and one is the goldstone ball, which is kind of like the sun card in tarot. Talks about positivity and confidence and optimism. And I like that you've got that because on this card, I don't think I pointed it out earlier, but it's Sol Invictus is what it says in the background. Sol Invictus is the Roman version of the Greek god Helios, who is in my new deck. Group 1 actually got him coming through in their reading. So yeah, it's kind of like another facet of the masculine that showed up in your reading. So we've got those. We've also got the good luck charm, which is nice. It's also the Irish charm. So you're being told that this new start is good for you. It's positive. It brings about good luck, and it's for a very auspicious new start. We've also got the Celtic pig of abundance, which is lovely. Fits nicely with the fact that you got Nuada in your reading. This could also be a zodiac marker for people who are born in the Chinese year of the pig. If that has any relevance for you, then that's just a reminder that this is your pile. But yeah, abundance, sort of bounty coming your way, a time of plenty. We also have Ganesha, so another divine masculine showing up. He is moving obstacles out of your way. He is helping you to heal and also to gain wisdom. We have the haunted house, and what's very interesting is that's landed on the haunted girl, faceless ghosts card. And the haunted house charm for me is about either memories or people or behaviors or thought processes from your past that you can't seem to let go of. So it could be that you keep thinking about a certain person or seeing them about, and that really triggers you. It could be that you just can't seem to stop dwelling on the past, or you're falling into negative behaviors that were part of your past that you don't want to be part of your future. Fire elementals are showing up here, so working with that fiery energy can help you to boost the strength of your masculine. We have the worry thread, and this was connected to the love heart. So worry or anxiety relating to love or relationships is sort of weakening your inner masculine. Remember that the masculine traits include things like confidence, assertiveness, decisiveness, sort of not needing to justify one's decisions, but just knowing that our own approval is more than enough validation that we need. So those parts of ourselves can start to waver if we're having bad experiences in relationships, because when our confidence starts to dwindle, all of these other things start to get pulled down with it. We don't start to trust our own self-approval anymore. We don't trust our own judgment anymore. It's all of these things. It's like a domino effect where everything takes a hit. And then down here we've got the Diva Bunny, which I always like to see in a reading. The Diva Bunny says that either your worry is unnecessary, or what you're worrying about will not come to pass, or you're sort of upset about a situation, but mentally or emotionally you're making it bigger than it is in reality. So something is going on that is stressing you out or making you upset or making you really worried, or there's the threat of that happening in the future, and it's either not going to happen, it's going to be easier than you thought it would be, or have a better outcome than you thought it would be, or the way that you're thinking about it is like a lot worse than it is to an outsider, like an objective perspective. So take that one however it resonates with you. We will move on now to your dice. Start with this. Oh, actually you've got another charm there. I didn't see that. The blue heart. Sadness. Or melancholy. Again, it sort of fits in with the bat, like reminiscing an awful lot, but in a sad kind of way. Or thinking about things from the past that make you upset. So we're going to be rolling the 7th set of dice for you. Group 2, those are the Harry Potter dice. Let's get these ones. And we're rolling 2 of them for you. You are group 2. Okay. So we have got Dumbledore, okay, wisdom, the wisdom of experience, the wisdom of age, maturity, also the wisdom of study and learning as well. Interestingly, that's landing on Nuada. So that's kind of referring to the wisdom of magnanimity, the wisdom of knowing when to step back, or knowing when a situation is no longer serving you, or where you can bring no more good to that situation and you need to focus your energy elsewhere. He's really ramming that point home about knowing your limits and accepting things with grace. Okay, and then we've got the Philosopher's Stone. Okay, so the Philosopher's Stone is obviously all about alchemy. It's about transforming the negative or the heavy or the toxic or the dead into something much more vibrant, much more healthy, much more positive. Charging energy from negative to positive, changing a situation from empty to full of potential. So working with alchemy, or acknowledging the alchemy that is going to start happening in your life soon. And I think that fits nicely with the King of Wands and also the Fool as well. So if I just summarize your reading, group 2, what I am feeling is that in order to help heal your masculine, you need to know your limits and boundaries. That includes respecting yourself and your time, sort of knowing when a situation is draining you of your energy or your focus, where looking at your sort of general energy output and knowing and noticing where it's being depleted, and taking action to rectify that, because your inner masculine needs that energy to direct towards building up his own strength. We've got messages here about recognizing and understanding the lessons of the past, so not repeating past behaviors, trying your best to not be sucked back in to too much reminiscing, or to worrying or obsessing about someone from a past, or situations from the past that are hurting you, trying to put that to rest as best you can, although I know that's very, very difficult to do in practice a lot of the time. Working on your self-love and self-respect, because in doing that, you gradually start to build up your confidence, which I feel has probably been knocked by relationships recently, and by what seems to be like a lack of being able to choose. Like, we've got messages of divine intervention, we've got messages of choices and feeling constrained, and to me that feels like you've been making choices that haven't had much effect, or you felt powerless in your life and you've needed help from something higher. You felt like you didn't know where you were going. So yeah, building up that confidence. I do feel like you're soon going to get a vision as your masculine gets stronger of where you're headed, or where you're most needed to be of service. But you need to get into this space of accepting change, or the liminal transitional period that you're in right now, and trying not to be so afraid of change, opening up to it and sort of surrendering and accepting it, like throwing your arms open and going, okay, do your worst. Like, I'm here, I'm ready. I know that fighting against it is going to make it worse, so I'm just ready for it now, this initiation, this new experience. Trying to embody that full energy of readiness. And even excitement, if you can muster that excitement for the newness, because this change is something that is going to bring you a lot of opportunities for growth and a lot of positivity and ability to give back as well. Group 3. So transition, magnanimity, and strength were your key words, focusing on getting through this transitional period and recognizing what to step back from. So I really hope this reading's been helpful for you, Group 2. Please let me know in the comments what you thought and whether it resonated with you. I'd love to hear from you. Please do like, share, and subscribe as well if you enjoyed this video, because that really helps me out and gets these messages to as many people as possible. And if you're interested in what I do on the channel, check out my description box or the comment below, because they are always full of links. So you can follow me on Instagram for daily oracle cards. You can head over to Patreon if you would like to support the channel in exchange for exclusive content. You can head over to my Etsy page to book a private reading or healing session with me. I have 2 wish lists linked below for new tarot and oracle decks if you are feeling very generous like the lovely Raj and would like to get me a gift for the channel. That would be so kind of you. Thank you to everyone who has done that, and thank you of course to Raj again. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation to support the work that I do, then that is also very kind of you. I have a PayPal link below, and any amount is really very gratefully received. And we still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations. For those of you that are interested in getting a discount on handmade crystal jewelry, head over to their website. The link is in the description box below, and that link will activate the discount code. So make sure you click that link, put in the discount code Violet at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your first order. So thank you so much again for being here, Group 2. Have a lovely rest of your day. Good luck with healing your masculine and strengthening your connection with him. And take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Uютное время, cozy time, and the 1 of diamonds, then this is your reading. We've also got the Edgar Allan Poe tarot here, so let's see how you can heal your inner masculine. I would also love it if you would subscribe, Group 3, if you haven't already. That means that you never miss a video that I post, and it also really helps out my channel as well. Okay, so we've got the 2 of Pentacles. We also have the 8 of Swords. And the Tower. Wow. Okay, Group 3. So I can see that you're sort of battling to try and keep your head above water. It feels like you're going through a really rough time. Lots of change, lots of uncertainty. And you may be feeling quite stuck as well. You might feel like you have no power over the situation. And that is obviously putting a limit on your inner masculine, because when you feel powerless, your inner masculine is weakened. Yeah, it's like you feel as though you can't take action, and you want to, but equally you might not even know what action to take. You feel stuck. You feel like you're just trying to, I guess, survive through this difficult time. There's really a lot of quite dramatic change happening. Yeah, I don't even know how else to explain it. That's what I'm seeing. So maybe this, I've used the pile markers in all of the other readings. Your cozy time is there to say, look after yourself. Like, this is a rough time for you. This is quite a dramatic time for you. Look after yourself. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure that you eat well. Make sure that you have downtime where you can just feel safe and secure in that moment. We've got number 15, Mildew Fairy, clean up time. And number 7, Poe, time for change, to learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. How funny is it that you've got the Poe card when you've got the Edgar Allan Poe tarot? That's really cute. So yeah, Mildew Fairy, clean up time. It's sort of making the right choices now, isn't it? That's discernment between what you really want to keep in your life as you move forward through these changes and what needs to be left behind or what needs to change in some way. There's a lot of forward thinking with this. With Poe, I always think of Uranus or Aquarius energy, really thinking ahead and thinking outside the box as well. I also think a little bit like the Knight of Swords. We have got the Wall, obstacles, number 56. Wow. And Eyes of the Eagle, rising above the fray, number 18. So getting that higher perspective on your situation. Being able to lift yourself up to get a better look at the situation. Having hit a wall. Coming across obstacles, shedding the old, number 38. There is a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so you'll be able to see these new prospects. So that was what I was talking about with the Aquarius, Uranus energy. Trying to get excited if you can about the new things coming in, or at least being able to look at things in a very innovative way. I feel like you've got to get comfortable with the fact that your past is in the past. That doesn't mean that you can't draw on it in future, but I think now your focus really needs to be in the future and in keeping yourself present as well. You might be someone who quite likes to dwell on the past or to be proud of your heritage or think an awful lot about where you've come from, but I think your inner masculine needs you now to be thinking more about your future and really putting your focus there and working every day towards building this future. Embrace meditation, number 9. That's perfect for the cozy time message and being in the moment. Can also help you to feel more grounded if you feel powerless. Okay, we have number 36, Schuld, guilt or blame. And number 90, schönes Leben, beautiful life. So yeah, getting on with enjoying your life. There might be a lot of things that you feel bad about from your past, that you maybe blame yourself for or feel guilty for or just desperately wish you hadn't done. You might be the kind of person that thinks a lot about your past but often ends up cringing when you do so at some of the things you've said or done. But it's like saying, look, drawing a line under it, that's in the past now. We're leaving that in the past where it belongs. We've learned from it. We're moving on from that. We are now very future focused. Getting on with enjoying your life, just like you deserve to. So we've got Bedürftigkeit, number 78, neediness. Geben, number 3, giving. And Angst vor Bindung, number 84, fear of commitment. Okay, so this is not necessarily just in relationships. Like I kind of get the feeling that you kind of are hoping for reassurance a lot of the time. Just in your life in general, you're looking for reassurance a lot, or you're hoping to be given signs an awful lot. You feel like you're a little bit needy with spirit maybe, or you're just feeling very vulnerable in general, feel like you need the support of others. With the fear of commitment, this could also be to do with your future plans. It's like you don't want to settle on any particular thing, you know, because you don't want to have to change it in the future, or you are struggling to maybe think too far in the future right now. You're thinking, I don't want to jinx something, or I don't want to start working towards something where it all feels very uncertain. But you need to put this energy out there now. You need to give of yourself so that the universe can see what you're aiming for and where you're headed. Home help. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for giving me the courage to ask for and accept help from you, the angels, and others in matters regarding my family and home. Interesting. So family and home, committed relationships maybe, moving house maybe. That would make sense with the tower, which is being shown as like a really split into house in this image, in the sense of like a lack of stability. A lack of a home, emotionally or materially. Okay, so then your inner masculine, I've got you 3 cards from the inner masculine deck. So you have number 10, Dumuzid, presence. You also have number 22, Hephaestus, rejection. He's known as Vulcan in the Roman pantheon. And we've got number 15, Ganesh or Ganesha, wisdom. Okay, so that's how your inner masculine is showing up in a need for healing. So yeah, if we go back to this feeling of being unsettled, feeling like you don't really have a home or a stable ground, or just kind of worried and feeling powerless, I feel like both of these 2 cards fit quite well with that. So Dumuzid is saying that your power in this situation lies in recognizing your presence. So Dumuzid is a god who is very connected to cycles. He's also called Temmuz. That's, I think, an incorrect translation of his name, or transliteration of his name, but that is sometimes how he's referred to. And he is kind of like, if we think of the sort of New Age Lord God, we think of a god who works in cycles and sort of dies at harvest time and is then reborn in the spring. That's Dumuzid right there. And his death was mourned during the sort of autumn-winter period with like a genuine display of grief by the people who worshipped him. It was like a genuine ceremony or rite as the year went on. So this is kind of like saying, if people can't recognize the importance of your presence, then you know that they're not right for you. Or if you're in a situation, or for example working on a project where you feel like your input isn't being recognized or isn't being appreciated, or it's like this situation would just muddle along perfectly well without you, then it's time to reevaluate your participation in that situation or project, because your energy could be best placed elsewhere. So if we then look at Hephaestus, I think this also works very well, quite nicely with Dumuzid actually, with the rest of your reading, because Hephaestus is saying, like, again, know when people don't appreciate you. But this is like, with Dumuzid, it's like people either appreciating your presence or respecting what you have to offer or not. Whereas with Hephaestus, it's like downright rejection. It's like where people show a blatant disregard for your preferences or your needs. It's where people are actually not very nice to you, not very kind to you, where you feel let down or betrayed by people, rather than just, oh, they don't really appreciate me, or I feel like my skills could be best used elsewhere. It's literally like someone's done something that shows a flagrant disregard for me, or someone has insulted me or offended me in some way, or there is a situation where I literally feel like my time is being insulted by the low benefit that I get in return from it. So Dumuzid and Hephaestus are saying know when to step back from people or situations where you feel disrespected, insulted, offended, unappreciated, undervalued, etc. It feels like people are making decisions for you, or are making decisions that affect you, but they're kind of disregarding you, if that makes sense. And this could be really big life decisions, like someone is considering, I don't know, moving house, and that would mean that you couldn't afford to pay your rent, or you couldn't afford to stay where you're living, and that leaves you feeling extremely unsettled. It could be something literally huge like that. And then Ganesha is talking about your wisdom. Ganesha is saying that you have so much intelligence and wisdom from learned experience that can really help you to navigate this situation successfully. Ganesha is a god who removes obstacles from our path and who heals us as well. So he is a perfect god to come out in this reading where it feels like you're fighting against obstacles. You've come up against walls, or you've got things being thrown at you from all directions. So taking those first steps of self-respect is really what's going to help heal your inner masculine, group 3. And as I've said, sort of recognizing when you're not wanted or when you're not being appreciated, that will strengthen your inner masculine when you recognize that and take action. And also when you really, really start to focus on your future now. So let's keep going with cards. I think those are beautiful cards you've gotten. So here we've got Oracle of Chaldea, number 37. And this one fell on the floor, but this is Sovereign Queen Maeve, number 40. That fits very nicely with your reading. I will get the guidebook entry for that one, but I'm just going to pull a few cards first so I have all of the cards out before I get to the guidebooks. We have Manage to be Glad, number 43. Create your own happiness regardless of conditions. That is perfect. We also have All Must Have Prizes, number 13. Trying to please everyone. And I think it's really been shown to you quite recently that other people aren't necessarily as invested in your happiness as you are in theirs. Other people don't necessarily put as much thought into what would be right for you as you do in what would be right for them. Then we have Growing Up, number 17, wanting to grow in experience, rejection of perpetual youth. So there's that word rejection again. Leaving something behind. We've got number 1, Archangel Metatron and Clear Quartz, Power. Number 18, just Angel Uzziel and Smoky Quartz, Heavenly Mercy. Ace of Raphael or Ace of Cups, a positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. Then we have Eagle, and you got Eyes of the Eagle earlier on in your reading, so that's a power animal for you. And finally, last quarter moon in Cancer, take a breather. And first quarter moon in Leo, be humble. Okay, so let's get these guidebooks for some of these cards so I can just give you some more context. So Oracle of Chaldea, continue on your healing journey with enthusiasm, but without forcing things to happen more quickly than feels natural. Sometimes the body will be ready to let go while the mind is still holding on. At other times, the mind may need to be patient as the body processes an experience. Trust in your own timing and rhythm. There's no need to be impatient or to judge yourself. You are summoning the spiritual fortitude to tackle an issue which has previously held you back. When the time is right, the healing shall happen more easily than if you tried to push forward prematurely. Things are going to work out. Be positive. Love that. And then Sovereign Queen Maeve, which I think really fits your situation nicely, says, value what is sacred to you by protecting it from interference, even that which may be well-intentioned. Be compassionate but set firm boundaries. You are going to triumph over a negative situation. It will take courage, but you have more than enough inner strength, resourcefulness, and boldness to accomplish what you wish to attain. Do not give up. You have the ability to connect with higher worlds, so open your heart and mind to the light. So it's kind of setting your own parameters for what is and is not acceptable to you, and then acting upon it, never sort of going back on what you've said you will or won't accept. Archangel Metatron says, together we bring you the gift of power. Spiritual power enables you to trust in your higher guidance no matter what appears to be happening in your life. Psychological and emotional power enables you to transform through evolving your belief systems and processing your emotions, through which you gain wisdom. Physical power gives you the strength to take action on the matters that serve your life path. This gift of power is safe for you to receive because you will use it to fulfill your divine destiny, which in turn supports all beings. And then Angel Uzziel, we bring you the gift of heavenly mercy. As you grow spiritually, your energy field becomes more substantial. Your thoughts and actions carry more karmic weight in the world. As your power increases, your ability to do good increases too. Your positive words can have a potent effect on others. So too can the very human moments where you may be having an off day and unintentionally respond to another in a way that is not unconditionally loving. We do not want you to be afraid of becoming powerful. We know that most often you are going to make a positive contribution with your power. We also know that sometimes you will wish you could undo a choice you have made and its effect. To help you, we offer our karmic protection, where the destructive impact of your actions is softened and the positive effect of your actions is enhanced. As you grow in power and impact, our gift of heavenly mercy will surround you, aligning your actions with divine will and blessing you and all affected by you with divine compassion. Wow. So this fits really nicely with how, as I said earlier, you are someone that considers other people quite a lot. And I think you've recently or will recently be upset by how someone seems to not take your needs or preferences into consideration, because that's something that's very natural for you. When you think about your choices, you really think about how that might affect others. So in a way, your inner masculine is asking you to be more selfish, and that doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's sort of putting your needs first, because it's saying, look, everyone else is doing it. Why shouldn't you as well? Why should you be the only one that's massively thinking of others when these others don't put you first? Okay, and then eagle. The noble eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. Love it. So when in balance, the eagle person is bright, radiant, and enjoys challenges. When out of balance, they are controlling. And to bring themselves back into balance, they need to step into the unknown, which is a very interesting message. Not being afraid of change. So we'll do your charms and dice now, group 3. I feel like your inner masculine is really very dynamic, actually. I just get like a more powerful energy than I did maybe from the other 2 readings. Okay, group 3. So to heal your inner masculine, we have, interestingly, the love heart and the rose, which means true love, and the past life relationship charm. So there's a lot here to do with your relationships and how you interact with them. And I think this is possibly a reminder that it is not an unloving thing to do what you need first and foremost, because I feel like you are group 3, someone who really gives yourself of service to others. Whether you realize that consciously or not, you're someone who is either always there for others, or your life path involves giving to others. Maybe you're a light worker, and it feels like you almost feel as though doing what you want or doing what's right for you is somehow wrong of you or selfish of you. And I really don't think that's the case. I think your inner masculine is saying you can afford to be a lot more selfish, group 3. Doing what you want. We've got the dog putting his paw up there. That always makes me think of wanting something. That can also be a zodiac marker for people born in the Chinese year of the dog, if that has any meaning for you. But yeah, that's coming through quite quite strongly. We have optimistic there, which is the reverse of the Sagittarius charm. So being positive about your future, feeling more in control. We have the Page of Pentacles, taking things one step at a time, and also an Earth Elemental popping up here. So the Earth Elementals, like the gnomes, are around you. They are saying it's fine to do things differently. Don't feel like you have to follow the templates that other people set out for you. And we've got the cookie jar here, which is a really cute charm. The cookie jar tells you to indulge a little bit more. It's fine for you to indulge yourself. Really, I'm feeling like be a little bit more selfish. Take care of yourself. Do what's right for you. Don't put yourself out for others, really, because it feels like now, during this difficult time, you need that energy for yourself. And I also feel like I need to remind you, group 3, that you can't give from an empty cup. You can't be of any use or service to other people when you yourself are drained or tired or ungrounded. So that's a really important thing to bear in mind, that your inner masculine wants to hammer home. So we're going to roll the 8th set of dice for you now, the Adventure Time dice. These ones. And we're rolling 4 of them for you. Okay, yeah, so we have got Lemon Grab here, and he is yeah, I just think of this character as being someone who is very, very demanding, someone who needs everything to be done his own way, or he's going to punish people, or he's going to be aggressive with people. He's very shouty, he's very screamy, he's very violent, not particularly by himself, but using other people to sort of do his bidding for him. And so it feels like either you're surrounded by people that are like that, or it's saying be less harsh on yourself, be less demanding of yourself. Like, you seem to be someone who gives so much to others, group 3, but gives very little to yourself, gives yourself very little time to breathe, or very little opportunity to make mistakes. It's like if you do something wrong, or you don't manage to get something done in a particular amount of time or to a certain standard, you're really, really harsh on yourself. And this is telling you you can afford to be more lenient and to dial back a little bit, because that gives your inner masculine space to direct energy where it is needed. Okay, and constant leveling of criticism towards yourself just wounds your inner masculine. So we also have the sandwich here, which just kind of makes me think about the right things, having the right fillings, you know, the right things going together at the right time. So this could be where that love, or where that, what's the word? Past life relationship comes in, sort of collaborating with other people. But again, I think it's saying do what's right for you, in the sense of treating yourself, taking time for yourself, etc. It's just try not to put too much expectation on yourself. Group 3, that's really coming through loud and clear. We've got Lumpy Space, where Lumpy Space Princess comes from, and that just makes me think of like a really gossipy, low vibrational environment. Lumpy Space Princess is someone who gossips a lot. She's all about what other people are doing. Has very low integrity, and I do get the vibe that you are maybe either surrounded by people that are like that, or you're struggling with other people's opinions of you, because Lumpy Space is all about people's appearance and what people do. And yeah, it's that sort of low vibrational thing where you're really worried about what other people think about your behavior, or, you know, I can't let people down, what would they think of me, etc. So again, going easier on yourself on that. Your inner masculine needs space to breathe, I think, and space to grow, because you're going through this time where you need to direct a lot of loving energy towards yourself. And finally, we've got marshmallow, which is reminding yourself of your softness and your tender side, and you may be softer than you appear, or softer than you think you are, maybe. So that is what I'm seeing in your reading, group 3. Just to summarize, I see sort of a need to direct your energy towards yourself, to be kind to yourself, to be less criticizing of yourself. I see a real need to focus on your future and to try and get excited for change. You might feel like you can't really plan for your future because everything feels uncertain, but it's something that's really coming up as this would be so beneficial if you could manage to do this. Rising above low vibrational environments and recognizing when people and situations appreciate your presence, or when they disrespect you or don't acknowledge you at all. So that is what I'm seeing, group 3, in your reading. Good luck with healing your inner masculine. Please let me know what you thought of the reading, whether it resonated with you. Please let me know in the comments, and also please do like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Check out the description box or my comment in the comment section below if you're interested in the work that I do and would like to be more involved. You can follow me on Instagram there for daily oracle cards. You can become a patron on Patreon. I would love to see you over there if you would like to support the channel on a more regular basis. You'll also get access to exclusive content and lots of lovely little extras over there. You can head over to my Etsy page and book a private reading or healing session with me. I also have linked down below 2 wish lists for new tarot and oracle decks if you're feeling very generous, like the lovely Raj was earlier this week, and would like to send a new gift to the channel. That would be so kind of you, so thank you to everyone who has considered doing that. I also have a PayPal link for those of you who wish to leave a tip or a small donation. All amounts are very much gratefully received. They all go towards the work that I do and helping me to continue making these videos. So thank you for everyone who has done that. And we still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations. So if you would like to get 10% off your first order of beautiful handmade crystal jewelry, then head over to their website. The link is in the description box below. That link will validate the discount code. You then apply the discount code Violet at checkout and you'll get your 10% off. So thank you so much again for being here, group 3. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. That's a message coming through for you loud and clear. And I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care.